ממון, Sefer Yisroel Saba, chapter The Importance of the Jewish Woman. Chassid came to Rabbi Yisroel to inform him of his engagement, which took place with wondrous providence and in a miraculous manner on the day of the yahrzeit of the holy sage Rabbi Yonasan ben Azil. Oh, be abundantly joyful. This is a great joy. God should bless each one with his intended match, with a good and suitable match. Thank God, don't delay the wedding, and give thanks and acknowledgement to God for this great miracle and kindness. You have really become renewed with a new life. It is clear that this is from God. From heaven, without any action, without any brackets human action. We need to learn from this that everything is from God, only faith. We believe, but we need to have faith with truth. It should be with truth. If one has faith but in something false, that cannot be called faith. Thank God we merited to know of Rבינו, who instills such faith in us. Faith that is new, we only need to accept it. So, perhaps you will merit to inform your family about Rבינו. This is above everything. Because you merited to draw close to Rבינו, it grants one all sorts of advice, all sorts of salvations. That you merited to draw close to Rבינו in truth and in faith, this will bring upon you all the blessings in the world, all the good influences. Do not forget to give thanks and praise to God always for this great miracle and this great kindness that is beyond our conception. This is kindness, a treasure of all the treasures. And afterwards, God willing, I want to merit to be at the circumcision and at the wedding of the celebration of the grandchild. Thank God I have time. I have a blessing from Rבינו that I will have long life. It is written in the Petik, about you I said, my fire will burn until the coming of the Mashiach. Not one word from the words of Rבינו goes unfulfilled. All that he said we see. The sages called the woman Akeres Abayis, the foundation of the house. The word Akeres is the language of base, the basis of the house, the woman. And also it is not good for the woman to work in other places. Rבינו guides us to know the truth, how the woman is the basis of the house. And he speaks especially of the great mercy that should be had in the woman. Rבינו, how he warns and obligates us to honor the woman, to have mercy on her and to help her in every possible way, and to help her in every way possible, to help her with everything. The Torah warns us to give honor to the woman, but in the way of the Torah. And Rבינו commands us direly to honor the woman, to have mercy on her, to help her. Yes, Rבינו says in Sefer Midas, and also the Gemara says the same. This is the language of the Gemara. One who divorces his wife, due to this he does not succeed. It is not good to divorce one's wife. To the contrary, one needs peace in the house. I drew close to Rבינו, I'm married. But about this I did not know. I did not understand the high significance of the woman. I did not think about this. I thought that she is like a house servant, not deserving anything. But Rבינו instills in us and enlightens us with all the lights of the Torah in every matter. We need to have mercy on the woman. Rבינו calculates about how much the woman suffers in her life from giving birth and raising the children, and she buys all that is needed, and she cooks, and everything. The woman, everything is on the woman. She suffers very much in her life. A lot of it from us, from the children. What she suffers in her life. The world does not speak about this at all, as if the woman is a dog. Rבינו felt. He reveals the great mercy that we need to have in her. We need to honor her, yes. Rבינו, he cried so much before God. He prayed to God a great deal, that when one would come to him with a request to pray in regards to a difficult birth, as soon as the messenger's shoe touched the door, as soon as he opened the door, as soon as the messenger's shoe touched the door, as soon as he opened the door, immediately she would give birth immediately before the messenger would enter the house and tell Rבינו the request. Just at the moment of opening the door, the woman would immediately give birth. He persuaded God to agree to this. Saba laughs. Prayer for a fitting match. Master of the world, have mercy on me and on all of your people Israel, and arrange for our sons and daughters their proper match from heaven, and the pairs should not be switched, God forbid, due to our sins. Rather, each one would merit to find his proper match from heaven. One may specify particular people at this point. The son of Nachman, and lead us in the path of truth always, and may we merit to make good and fitting matches in truth, according to your good will, as it is written, and from God. Smart woman. Isha Maskelis, Lord, unique, full of mercy, who gazes and sees to the end of all the generations, who governs his world with kindness and his creatures with mercy. Have mercy and pity on the adolescent days of the young of your people, the house of Israel, and let us know your ways, how we can merit to know how to find the true matches of all those dependent on us, through the power and the merit of the great and true tzaddikim, who are the holy wisdom of all the worlds, who drew down and revealed great and awesome wisdom and truth also in this world. May we soon merit to find the marital match for each and every one of your people Israel, and may we merit to marry them quickly with good fortune, for good and long life and peace, and may she go according to his will and not be against him at all. God forbid. Rather they should live together in love and peace and holiness and purity according to your true will. And may all of your people Israel merit to guard the holy covenant in great holiness in truth, upon which factor all the Torah is dependent. And this is the main test and free choice of every man in this world, as you reveal to us through your holy sages. And may every husband and wife merit to bring many children into the world, sons and daughters, many generations to eternity, and may all of them live and endure to serve and fear you for length of days and good years, and may they recognize and know you and the greatness of your true tzaddikim in whom you chose, and may the holy wisdom that they left in this world be revealed to them, and may the holy wisdom that they left in this world be revealed to them. Amen. May it be your will. From likutey tefilos, a prayer for peace in the home. Master of peace, King to whom peace belongs, who makes peace and creates all, help us and save us, that we should merit to grasp the quality of peace, and that there should be great peace in truth between each man and his fellow, and between husband and wife, and may there be no contention even in the heart between all men, for you make peace in your heavens, and you join two opposites together, fire and water, and in your immense wonders you make peace between them. So may you bring great peace upon us and on the whole world in such a way that all the opposites joined together in such a way that all the opposites will be joined together in great peace and great love, and all of them will be unified in one understanding and one heart to draw close to you and to your Torah and truth, and may all of them join in a single bond to do your will with a perfect heart. God of peace, bless us with peace, and through this draw on us all the blessings and all the good influences and all the salvations. From likutey tefilos, a prayer for an easy birth. And have mercy and pity in your great mercy on all those women struggling to give birth among your people Israel, and save them from pain and injury. And have mercy on their intense and heavy suffering, which is revealed before you, Master of all. And have mercy on them and help them and save them in your awesome compassion and your abundant kindnesses, that all of them should merit to give birth with ease, without any birthing difficulties at all. You, who are full of mercy, have pity on them, for you know their intense pain and suffering. Have mercy on them for your sake, and save them from all pain and injury, and from all sorts of evil eye, and from all sorts of evil forces and foreign influences that hinder the birth, and desire, God forbid, what they desire. Please, God, in your great mercy, save them and guard them from all evil, and may they all merit to give birth quickly, easily, without any birthing difficulties at all, and bring out the infant in peace, without damage. And may all of your people Israel merit to raise their sons and daughters for long life and years in service and fear of you. And may no women miscarry. And may your people Israel multiply like the sand on the seashore, beyond ability to measure or count. Blessed is the Lord, the God of Israel, forever and ever. Amen and amen. From likutey tefilos. One in this situation should give charity in abundance, for the key point is kindness. And one should say a song of thanks, Psalm 100, many times, for the saying of this psalm is a powerful influence for aiding in birthing difficulties. And also the psalm, may God answer you on the day of trouble, Psalm 20, is also beneficial for easy birth. Amen. Chapter Faith and Children. Yisroel sings happily with his Hasidim after a circumcision that was held at the grave of Rabbi Shimon בע'ha in Meron. Oy, what joy, what joy! Rבינו says in Sefer Midas, faith has the same gematria as children. Faith, that is children. Children will come if there is faith in God, fear of God, to keep the Torah, to accept on ourselves repentance. And if we repent, then faith, the gematria of children, from this will come children. Rבינו said that Sepira Masis is beneficial for a barren woman. If she reads these stories, it is a powerful influence to bring children. Yes, he said, I claim the opposite of the world. The world says from stories one does not come to pregnancy. And I said that reciting these stories It will cause children. There was a story of one chassid, a friend of mine, and 6 years after the wedding they did not have children, so they were very worried. Then, once in the month of Elul, in Elul everyone comes to pray and ask requests from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and I was all through the month of Elul constantly miron. So his mother came to me and said to me, "My son has no children already 6 years. I ask of you to pray and do everything you can." Then I said to her, "Rבינו said that Sapir through this barren women are granted children." I told her to buy the book of the stories and that both of them should read it, her son and his wife. Her son and his wife. Then she did this, and she told me that it was very hard to find the books of Piramasias. This story took place 40 years ago. It was not like today, wherein one can go to any store and buy it. Then the book was not available to be bought, so she searched and searched until she found the book of the stories. And in that year they had a son. She came to me in Meron in the month of Elul the year after and said to me, "Thank God, my son was saved. Thank you very much." Yes. Reading the Piramasias certainly causes awakening in faith, in truth. It is a beneficial influence for having children. Thus says Rבינו. Rבינו told the stories in Yiddish. That was the source. So it is better if the reader knows Yiddish, he should read it in Yiddish. He should read in Yiddish. But if it is not possible to read in Yiddish, so one should read it in Hebrew. That is just like the Yiddish, the same thing. I read one of the stories together with President Shazar. He was able to read in Yiddish because he grew up in a Yiddish-speaking home, but he wanted to read only in Hebrew. He was very enthusiastic about Hebrew, and I read in the holy language. That is like Hebrew. Then I said to him, "Read in Yiddish, the way it came from the mouth of Rבינו." Rabbi Nosson describes how the Piramasias circulated. He heard how Rבינו told the stories with gestures of his hands and eyes. It was very awesome. And also the stories are beneficial to a person, even if he does not know a thing. Just by reading the letters, the words, that is also a powerfully beneficial influence for causing fear of heaven and all good things, Rבינו said. What can the world say about the stories? Really, they are charming stories. The stories reveal Rבינו, reveal God. Oh, stories like these, what this is. God wants us to return in repentance. That is the main point. Faith, gematria of children. So, we say we believe. What? We don't believe? We do believe. No. Faith is, and they believed in God, and in Moshe his servant. Through Moshe his servant, we merit to believe in God and in the Torah. Faith, gematria of children. The main faith is faith in the sages, and they believed in God and in Moshe his servant. If one believes in Moshe his servant, then, and they believed in God. Faith in the sages. God decrees, and the tzaddik knows the decree. The tzaddik decrees, and God fulfills it. Yes, God should have mercy. I want with all my heart and soul that every Jew will merit to all the salvations he needs. So, we are obligated to pray for the world. Rבינו said, "One who does not pray for the world, he will be punished." No, one cannot say, "So, I didn't pray. Why do I deserve to be punished?" No, there is a big punishment. We need to pray each one for his fellow, and for all the world, that the wisdom of Rבינו should be revealed in the world. Then will come all the salvations, each one according to his needs. We need to bring the redemption closer. True, it is in the hands of the Holy One, blessed be he alone, but God wants us to draw him to the redemption, the master of the world. He has pleasure from our prayer, from our faith, and Rבינו said that his main point was prayer. My main point is Rosh Hashanah. What is Rosh Hashanah? To come to me on Rosh Hashanah to receive rectification. And this matter still remains today, not only during the lifetime of Rבינו, who said that his main point was Rosh Hashanah. This is an ongoing matter. It was never interrupted. This matter of Rבינו, it is a new thing that was never interrupted for all time. Every word of his and everything connected to him is above nature and is eternal. It exists always, in every generation. Thus he said that he is the true leader of all Israel. In every generation, it was never interrupted. He is our leader in every in every teaching, every discourse, every story. I saw one man who lived such a good life, beyond this world, such a good life, that the world knows nothing of what is life, what is such a end brackets life. I saw from Rabbi Yisroel Kaduner such wonders that have no words to describe. I saw great Torah leaders, brilliant, who had repute and fame and were important throughout the world. There was one rabbi who was a master scholar and famous in the world and had a reputation as a scholar and a tzaddik and everything. And I saw his life before I drew close to Rבינו, And after I merited to know Rabbi Yisroel, I perceived that this rabbi was entirely missing the point. He did not know what is the Torah, what is faith. Each and every person can be Rabbi, each and every person can be Rabbi Yisroel, and more, according to his heart. Rabbeinu said, give me your hearts, and I will lead you on a new path. What is the meaning of a new path? It is an old path, and even so it is entirely new. There is a verse, and I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh, and give you a heart of flesh. A lev basar. Rabbeinu says, heart of flesh, lev basar, breslev. That is breslev. In Hebrew, the words for heart of flesh has a sound similar to the word breslev. I saw Rabbi Yisroel. I already saw how the world will be after the coming of the Mashiach. Part 6 liters of gold. There was a story. A chassid told me that his father married, and for 6 years after the wedding, the parents had no children. Rabbi Yisroel Kaduna was in Meron. So the chassid's father came to Rabbi Yisroel and said in this language, I married 6 years ago already, and I have no children. They were major opposers, the grandfather and his family. But the parents did not listen. They went to Rabbi Yisroel and told him that they are already 6 years after the wedding without children. Then Rabbi Yisroel said to them, give me 6 liras of gold. 6 liras of gold was very expensive. Rabbi Yisroel did not speak very much. He spoke briefly. I need to pay 6 liras to print. Give me 6 liras, enough. Rabbi Yisroel did not tell this man that he would have children. Thus it was. He immediately gave Rabbi Yisroel the money to print the books of Rabbeinu, 6 gold coins, and a son was born. The son was born, and he lives to this day with the 6 liras. And he lives to this day with the 6 liras. He is now 80 years old already. Saba laughs. I remember how I and the son who was born were friends in yeshiva. His father was alone, and all the others were opposers. But the father gave the money to Rabbi Yisroel, 6 gold coins, and they had children, 6 children. And they had children, 6 children. 18 grush, part 18 grush. I will tell a story that happened to me. There was a family of opposers, and they had many children, and I did not have money for Shabbos, and no one helped me. And I and my family suffered until the children of this family started to die. The children were small, and they fell ill with a disease. Went to the doctor 1 time, 2 times, and died. The husband was a Torah scholar, a yeshiva student, and he had a daughter, and she did not ask her mother, or her father, or her husband, or anyone. And she gave me every Friday before candlelighting 18 grush, and from the first Shabbos she did so, the deaths stopped, and all the children are living to this day. Her father thought that he was very important to God. He was the manager of the yeshiva, and I was a common poor person. He thought I had no importance, and he did not give me bread, so the children died. His children died, until his daughter gave me 18 grush every Friday before candlelighting. The family did not know. She kept this a big secret. Only I and she knew. 18 grush was a large coin. That was a lot of money, a major possession. And this charity money protected him. That his children ceased to die. And from that day, the diseases ended and the children stopped dying. I would sing songs of Shabbos, and they were opposers. But she heard the singing, so she started to send me 18 grush with her children. And I had food to eat, even on Sunday and Monday. I had not had any thought that she would give me money every Friday. I received the 18 grush the first time and thought that is all enough. One time she gave. What? Has she signed a contract with me? No. The second Friday came, and the third and the fourth. Each Friday I feared that maybe she would stop. Perhaps she would not give. But she saw that as she gave the 18 grush, the children lived. So she continued and sent 18 grush every Friday before candlelighting. We were neighbors. I lived in some apartment, and there was an apartment above, and the daughter and her husband lived there. I knew everything. I saw how the children were already remaining alive. She had adorable children. She had a 15-year-old daughter that survived. Yes, and I heard from the children that they were very happy. And they were very happy that they did not fall ill and did not die. The children loved me like their own father. Part the Torah portions about Rosh Chodesh, first of the month. Rבינו says that a good recommendation for having children who will survive is for the husband and wife, both of them, to recite the Torah portion about Rosh Chodesh, Numbers 28. Likewise, when the baby is sick, God forbid, they should also both say this portion. There was a story about a little girl who was sick. She suffered major swelling, and the doctors gave up hope. Then I asked the father and mother, the doctors, what did they say? They told me that the doctors say that the swelling is increasing and increasing and increasing, and it is impossible to operate, and they do not know what to do. I told them, he and his wife, that they should both recite the portion about Rosh Chodesh. This advice is from Likutey lesson 151, and their daughter would be healed. And thus it was. The father began to recite the portion of Rosh Chodesh, he and his wife, and the girl began eating and sitting, and everything was fine. Here is brought the reading of Rosh Chodesh. Prayer for a barren woman to become pregnant is also brought here. Another prayer to merit to befitting children. Letter from the righteous woman Odul, daughter of Rabbi Nachman. Underneath the letter is a paragraph with the story from the son of Odul about a small child who Rabbi Nachman asked to pray for his recovery. Also doubtful if this letter needs to be included. It is not connected to yisroel at all. I didn't put it in the book that I have. The tefilos in this. Educating our children, chapter Educating Our Children. Rabbi speaks to someone on the topic of educating children and family matters. We need to make strong hats for children so that they will not fall. Attractive and strong, yes. We need to educate the children from infancy. Children are still not immersed so much in cravings. They are open to receiving. A child has a mind and he is not given attention. We need to give supervision and to guard children. One needs to speak to them when they are old enough to speak, and to instill in our children the ways of repentance, of modesty. When a child begins to speak, we need to speak with them to help them understand that this world is only for the sake of the world to come, to learn Torah and to fulfill the Torah and the mitzvahs. We need to pay attention to the education of our boys and girls from the earliest age, according to their minds, according to their capacity, and to learn with them the ways of keeping the Torah, the ways of modesty. Children like these need to be taught so that they will understand. To teach the small children to be habituated to wash himself and ritually wash his hands. And all that he grows and matures, he will be able to understand more how to learn, how to live. Yes, when a child grows, his mind and his human powers develop. He grows from month to month, from year to year, and becomes older and older. When he reaches some intelligence, some wisdom, one can learn with him. A child of 7 or 8 years, 10 years, one can speak to him. One needs to speak to him and help him understand that the main point of life is the Torah, and the most important thing is to return and fulfill the Torah and the mitzvahs. We need to accustom the children to say psalms and likutey tefilos, and to understand and know what is a Jew. They should learn and know the Torah and the Tanakh, and fulfill the Torah and believe in the Torah. We, the people of Israel, are a holy people. We need to teach our children the ways of the truth, the ways of modesty, the ways of holiness, and they should know the Torah, the Tanakh, and the Gemara, and the Medrash, to train the children to sleep on time, to wake up on time, to go to synagogue to hear, even at the age where he still does not understand, to hear the prayers of Jews praying to God. We need to teach them. Then they will be children of value, and such great descendants will come from them, holy generations of Torah and faith. They should learn and know and become accustomed to learning and understanding. It will be an established thing. We need to use education only to foster true fear of God. Yes. We are Jews. We and the Torah are one. We need to instill the Torah in ourselves and in our children. Every anecdote and every story of the Torah is all our vitality, not like the non-Jews. They learn in books only in order to write and speak elegantly, with no soul, with no life, without anything. They learn not for the sake of heaven, only to know how to speak and to know the foolishness of the sexual desires which heat up and overtake a person, and to know the foolishness of the sexual desires which heat up and overtake a person. Without the vitality and the truth and faith and knowledge, we are nothing. God forbid, like the non-Jews. They have no intelligence. They know only how to eat like an animal. Only when he is hungry he grabs something and eats it. That is all, no more. He gets up, he eats without a blessing, he knows nothing, he is a non-Jew. He does not know the ways of faith and blessing. So he is a creature. He is taught how to speak, but his speech is worth nothing. But our speech, words of Torah and learning, that is all our life. We are human beings, the holy people of Israel. We can guide our children in the ways of the Torah and of modesty, that they will have strength to learn Torah and fulfill it, not like what would be if they learned together with the non-Jews. Do the non-Jews have some faith, some wisdom? Nothing. The non-Jews have no faith. They don't have a single student like this. They have no tzaddikim. They have no holiness, no understanding, no power, and no words with wisdom. Nothing. They are nothing. Just like animals, like wild creatures, like a rat, not knowing from the Torah, not knowing anything, without the Torah, without mitzvahs, even to teach Jews. even to teach Jews. But without faith, without life force, it is not worth anything. Our children learn with children. Our children learn with children who don't know a thing about the Torah, about faith. They don't know anything. They do not have the manners of the Torah and faith and trust. So they are nothing. The children are nothing. Also, if, God forbid, we go in the ways of the non-Jews, in the ways of non-Jewish education, then we also become like animals, like birds, like chickens. We have nothing. It kills us, the faith and the light. Without faith, without Torah, there is no vitality, nothing. It is because of this that we were cast away and distanced from the truth and from faith. The education of those Jews is like that of the non-Jews. Because of this we are suffering. We need our children to be separated from the ways of the non-Jews, and they should know that we are unique, that we are a unique nation in the world, that we believe in the Torah and the mitzvahs. We and our descendants need to be educated in the way of the Torah with holiness and fear of heaven, not just in a common way. This is all our vitality, our life, our heart. Yes, if we merited, all the non-Jews would see and be jealous of us, of our children, and the world would be holy with Torah and fear of heaven. We are the people of the covenant, the children of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, for whom we inherited the way, from whom we inherited the way of truth and the Torah and the mitzvahs. We are a unique nation in the world, the holy people in the holy land of Israel. We can receive holiness from every word of the holy Torah. We are the people of the Torah. We have such a Torah, such awesome things that God does with us in every generation, and chose us from all the peoples and gave us the Torah. Blessed are you, Lord, who gives the Torah. We need to guard the word, the ways of the Torah and faith. Then we will receive great vitality from the Torah, from every star of the Torah. Every word of the Holy Torah is all our vitality. Without it we have nothing. We have no wisdom and no faith and no strength. Nothing. We need to give ourselves over to instilling the great light of faith in our hearts, of the Holy Torah, the Tanakh and the Talmud, all the books of the true tzaddikim, our holy forefathers. We have Torah, we have righteous and holy rabbis. They already interpreted all the Torah for us. In their strength we can draw close to God. The wisdom of the Torah is only in order to fulfill and to understand the Torah, to fulfill the mitzvahs. In every generation they gave their souls for the Torah and the mitzvahs, for the keeping of the Shabbos, for all the mitzvahs. That is all our life force, all of our life. We need to have mercy on ourselves and on our descendants. We need to understand and to instill in our hearts the will to fulfill the ways of the Torah, to give our souls for this. Also our children will know the ways of the Torah and faith and truth. Only we are a holy people. We are the people of God, people of the Torah. We need to accustom ourselves to learning Torah and fulfilling the Torah and the mitzvahs. In brackets, the Torah, the end of brackets, guides us concerning the mitzvahs, tzitzis, and tefillin, and Shabbos. We know such a faith, such a holiness, such a Torah, which is all our vitality, all our life. We only need to rejoice always in our holy Torah, and to learn Torah with self-sacrifice, and to inspire our wives and children and descendants only with holiness. We also need to learn, not to waste even one moment to learn, only to learn all the time, and to train ourselves to know the Torah and faith and truth. Without this there is no life, nothing. We would be like animals, like beasts. Oy vey, oy vey. We need to train ourselves and our descendants in the ways of the Torah and faith and truth, not like the non-Jews. Falsehood. They are false and they do not know anything, like mules, a type of mule that goes on 2 feet. They are non-Jews. They did not receive the Torah. They are non-Jews. But we need to be separate from them. They are not our friends. All the non-Jews, nothing. They have no intelligence, no wisdom, no faith. They have no vitality. They have nothing. A mule, an animal, not good. Education. We need to educate our children in the ways of the Torah, that they will know and learn. And then they will be rectified. The non-Jews will be like mules. They will all see that they are mules, and that only we are human beings. Only we are the people of Israel, the people of the Torah. The Mashiach will come, and we will know what we are, who we are. Nachmon meyuman. The non-Jews, mules. Another non-Jew, another mule, but we human beings. Oy, oy. Our Torah gives us life and light and strength and faith and truth, and teaches us the ways of faith and the ways of God in the Torah. Every word is all our life force. There are such lights in the Torah that can fill us with the light of Torah and Judaism. It teaches us what to eat and how to eat, and everything in the Torah are mentioned unclean birds, but it is forbidden for us to eat them. Everything can be found in the Torah, the way to truth, how to do, with brackets, everything, and the brackets, and how to live. The main thing is to live with faith, with the Torah, we as well as our descendants and our homes. Also for the women, there is what to learn and how to live. The woman needs to learn and to know and to believe in God and in Torah. Without this, nothing. All our life depends on the woman. She needs to understand how to live with her husband, and how to educate the children, and how the children will manage It is all holy. They should learn and know what we have, the holy Torah of faith and truth. Only we are the people of Israel, a unique people in the world, one people, a holy people. God gave us the Torah and the mitzvahs, and all the Torah is the main point of our lives. We need also the teachings and the language of Yiddish, to speak in Yiddish. Yes, we need to sanctify our speech. Everything we say should have holiness, and the holiness of the Torah and God and truth and faith. No, not like the non-Jews. Also, when one speaks in a foreign tongue, it impurifies the man, it changes and purifies the man. Our speech, God should have mercy. All that it causes, Oy master of the world, the sages that left the ways of the Torah ruin our children. It creates generations of destructive thieves. It destroys the world. Yes, the parents do not know, and we have not merited to educate our children in the ways of the Torah. The parents strayed and followed the ways of the non-Jews, but the truth will be revealed, and all will know that the main point of life is faith and truth and the holy Torah. Every word. When the time will come when there will be a new existence, not like it is now. The time will come when we will know the holiness of our life, the holiness of our Torah. It will be a redemption. The children will be good and holy. The time will come when everyone will know the Torah and believe in the Torah and keep the Torah. It will be a different world. Now the world is in ruin. Now the world is a ruin. There is no light, no truth. All the world is in darkness and not knowing anything. Oy vey, what there is in the world. Oy vey, I bless all the children, that God should help them to be strengthened in fear of heaven and Torah. God should help all of Israel, all who need. May God arouse mercy and have mercy on them and help them with all the salvations quickly, and give us true knowledge to know how to come close to God in truth. The main point is faith, to believe in God and the Torah and the mitzvahs. We are the people of God, the people of the Torah. We need to be strong in faith in God and in the Torah. To be strong, not to fall, God forbid. May God have mercy on us, and everyone should ask for mercy every day, that we should merit to guard the Torah and our children, and to learn and fulfill the Torah. That is the main point. To think about this, not to forget what we are saying. This is all our vitality, all our hearts, everything. There is a principle that everything will be transformed to good. Rבינו conquered the whole world. All the sages with all their wisdoms will be ashamed. They will be ashamed and regret that they left the truth, our holy Torah. We see such wonders. What we and our children never knew, the power they have in their hearts. They wanted to rearrange the whole Torah according to their understanding. God forbid. Oh, they did not succeed. They did not succeed. After several more years passed, they will be ashamed and annul themselves entirely to one word from Rבינו, from the holy Torah. They will dig graves and bury themselves from the intensity of the shame in the face of every word from Rבינו that already exists in the world. One word from Rבינו transforms the whole world. All the thinkers, he shows them that they do not know anything. Oh, how many mitzvahs each Jewish child must perform. Each child, Rבינו revealed such wisdom that they will not want, brackets, anything else, and brackets, only to speak about how to keep the Torah. Each and every teaching that Rבינו revealed is the foundation of the whole world and all our descendants, and all until the end. The center and the basis of Judaism is the holy Torah. In each and every generation of the Torah, it has the power to transform the whole world. There will come a condition wherein the Torah will need to be renewed, not according to the scholars of this time, rather according to our scholars, faith and prayer and Torah, what the scholars of the present time taught the children, not according to the Torah. We need to reverse this with complete reversal. We need to change from one extreme to the other. This only Rבינו can do. He came to the world to turn everything to its opposite. He will transform the whole world to its utter opposite. Rבינו said in the Sikhs, there is a concept wherein everything will be transformed to good. Who is the concept? No one knows. Rבינו revealed himself to us and teaches us our Torah, such a light that all the sages, all the brilliant thinkers will be ashamed and annulled entirely. All the scholars need to dig pits to bury themselves in, from the intensity of the shame that we have such teachings like these in the world. We have a Torah like this, unique in all the world. There is a concept wherein everything will be transformed to good. What is this good? Torah, prayer, faith. Torah, prayer, faith. And each one needs this. He gives us such gifts. He strengthens us and teaches each and every Jewish soul such a Torah, such a truth, such a faith, such a wisdom new that is not found anywhere in the world and was never before in the world. And there will be a completely new world. Such lights will be revealed in the world. The light of Rבינו is already in the world. We know nothing of what is in the world, what Rבינו already revealed. We do not need to strain ourselves. It is already illuminating. We can inform everyone that they should all merit to see, brackets, the greatness of, end of brackets, our Torah. Every word of his is the whole Torah for all the Jews who want to listen. He already knows how to reclaim us, how to transform to the opposite. With every word, he shows everyone how to serve God and how to believe in God and in the Torah. He illumines us with such lights that we would need thousands of years to carry out one of his words, for he has such a truth and such a wisdom that he can transform from one extreme to the other, and this is already here in the world. We have everything. Yes, Rabbeinu illuminates all the Torah with such a light that was never before in the world, completely new, with one word from Rabbeinu, with one teaching, in one moment. He transforms everyone, all the world, everything to good, to God, to true wisdom, to Torah and faith and truth. With each and every one of his words, he transforms and will transform the whole world. There's no other wisdom like this in the world that will bring everyone to know God and the Torah and faith and truth. Oy, oy, what I merited to hear and to see. Such holy words, such faith, such truth that illuminates everything. Nothing, never before was, in brackets, such a thing, brackets, revealed. He does not need much time. Just one word from Sapira Masias. He subdues everyone, and they will see and say, for this we waited, for this we hoped. Only Rabbeinu, with one word, he transforms everything. We already have such a likutey haluchas and such books of advice, such a likutey maran, whose every teaching is a light that illumines all the world, such a truth and wisdom that all the non-Jewish sages of the world will be ashamed and will draw close to his words. All the non-Jews will envy us and see with their own eyes that they are only mules. The non-Jews, they will all go away. Who speaks about them? Who needs them when there is already a Sapira Masias like this? They will all be embarrassed in the face of each and every word from the historians. They will all change radically, every one of the people of Israel. It will be a world with such a light like nothing that ever was before. Yes, we see that the righteous Mashiach will repair and atone, and everything will be for good and blessing. I was with Rabbi Yisroel Kaduner. He wanted all the light and all the Torah for us, for our descendants. Oh, one who heard the prayers of Rabbi Yisroel, he can feel what I am revealing, what I am informing about this. I merited to hear and to see words like these, words of God. There is such wisdom in every word that will transform everything to good. How he cried and pleaded before God. He felt that he was far from God, from the Torah, master of the world. What will become of me? Oh, what I saw with my eyes, what there is for us. Such vitality, such faith, such truth. It will transform everyone. They will be totally embarrassed, totally overturned by one word from the Holy Torah. Such wisdom and faith that had never before been in the world. He will have the power with every word to turn the whole world around to God, and this will become stronger and stronger with one of his words. He can transform the whole world. A prayer for educating children. It's not brought in here. Chapter likutey tefilos. Yisroel sings melodies at the western wall before sunrise. I read that Rבינו did not eat and did not even drink a drop of water before praying, and he had such strength that eating and drinking was for him like a corpse, like something not good, forbidden. Rבינו said, I never drank even water before praying all his life. The body wants to eat, wants to sleep. Rבינו said to him, not according to your will, according to mine. I enjoyed this. I saw that Rבינו did not need, in brackets, anything under brackets from midnight until after the morning prayer. He did not even taste water. I saw this. I made the effort also to fulfill this. I was accustomed not to drink and not to eat from midnight. I became accustomed, and this became part of my order of serving God. I remembered that this infused me with such strength that I did not want to taste even water before the prayers. I also lived by this. I never drank even water before the prayers. We do not understand how he lived. It is written in the book Chaimaran that in the night his mother gave Rבינו something to eat, and he did not want. So his mother said to him, you don't eat anything. How can you live if you don't eat anything? She gave him something to eat, cake and coffee. He tasted just a bit. Then she said to him, my son, how will you have strength to serve God? Then he said to her, I have another kind of strength. I receive strength from other things, not from eating. My strength, wisdom gives life to its owners. I live from life-giving wisdom. Wisdom, he has strength for this because he has vitality from the wisdom that gives life to its owners. Also, I have such people with me that do not want to taste anything before praying. They live from other things, not from eating. All their vitality is only from the wisdom that gives life to its owners, and they live only from wisdom. That is the Holy Torah. That is the true wisdom. They do not need to eat. If there is likutey maran from Rבינו, there is no issue of eating. We are the people of Israel. We have such a merit to have a Rebbe like this who teaches us not to eat and not to drink, only to serve God. We receive strength from the wisdom that gives life to its owners, not from other things. We receive strength from the wisdom that gives life to its owners. Fortunate are we that we have a Rebbe like this who reveals to us, teaches us everything, how to live and how to eat and how to sleep. We need to be careful that follow all the words of Rבינו that came from his holy mouth. We need to give all our souls to doing as he teaches us and tells us. He already prepared everything we need for us. Oi, oi, such a Rebbe. Yes, not to taste anything before prayer, even water before prayer, no eating and no drinking. It is forbidden, God forbid, to eat before prayer. Only an elderly man sick. That is a matter of mesiras nefesh, giving over the soul, self-sacrifice. So he has a different law. But when a man is healthy, God forbid, even the drinking of water before prayer. And for one who does not sleep, there are laws. He needs to study them and know how to behave. According to the Gemara, according to the Torah, it is forbidden to eat and drink before prayer. And the Hasidim, they eat and drink before praying. The opposite of Rבינו. What is this? Is everything allowed? The opposite of Rבינו, opposite of the Gemara, opposite of the Torah. Concerning Rבינו, it is written that he did not eat or drink before prayer from midnight on. He did not pay heed to the rest of the world. He gave us a straight path not to eat and not to drink before prayer. Thus says Rבינו. So we also need to do likewise. We need to be strong and to act according to the holy Torah, not to eat and not to drink before praying. It damages the prayer. We need only to serve God, and also to serve God through our eating and with the blessings and the blessing after the meal. When the followers of Rבינו ate, they would be careful with each blessing and also everything that they ate, only after they had prayed. Only after they had prayed, not before. One time, when Rabbi Yisroel was sick, he also followed this strictly and did not eat before the prayer. I heard his prayer. He only said, "Blessed is he who said." Baruch Omar only recited several words of prayer. He was already satiated and could not either eat or drink. I remember the wording and the enthusiasm of the divine service of Rabbi Yisroel. I remember how Rabbi Yisroel would say prayers, and his prayers were with such sweetness and such attachment, as if he was eating all the varieties of delicious foods in the world. He had a strength like this. What I saw, Rabbi Yisroel did not eat or drink before prayer, and one who only heard his voice became a tzaddik. I was together with him, and I saw that he cried so much before God about every matter that he would merit to fulfill the Torah. Every moment he endured all sorts of pains, all sorts of diseases, and thus he served God. The time has come for likutey tefilos to be revealed in the world. We know nothing of what impact it has on the world. Every one of his words brings rectification and is the vitality of all the world. Likutey tefilos, we need to print it throughout the world. For all the yeshivas, in every place there will be likutey tefilos. They will perceive that there was never before such a thing in the world, such a wonder in likutey tefilos. Was there ever such a likutey tefilos like this in the world? This is only something from the Mashiach. The light of God will be revealed. The light of the Mashiach. The righteous Mashiach will reveal this likutey tefilos. He will reveal what is likutey tefilos. The Mashiach will enter every part of the world, all of Israel. He will rectify them. He will give them likutey tefilos, and they will say likutey tefilos. That is everything. The Mashiach will explain what is likutey tefilos, what is likutey halachos, what is likutey eitzes, what is the piramasias. The Mashiach will take at every occasion another drop from the sea and tell brackets about it and the brackets, and everyone will become tzaddikim, total balachiva, holy tzaddikim, everyone. Fortunate are we that there is already likutey tefilos in the world. This was the hisboidedis of Rabbi Nosson. He drew out some spark from his hisboidedis, some drop from the sea. He brought it out for us to give us happiness, to strengthen us, to heal us. He created likutey tefilos. Every word can heal the whole world, give joy to the whole world, strengthen the whole world. Every word. How could one be separated even one moment from likutey tefilos, from likutey halachos? This rises above all the Torah. Oh, likutey tefilos. Every word is the Torah and prayer of Rבינו. Oh, likutey tefilos. Every word is the Torah and prayer of Rבינו. He is our Rebbe and that of all the world. All sorts of rectifications and teachings of his. It is such wisdom that all the world will be a different world entirely. Yes, was there ever or is there in the world a likutey tefilos like this? Every word is all the Torah and all the songs in the world and all the healings. Oh, fortunate are we, likutey tefilos of Rבינו and Rabbi Nosson. This book, likutey tefilos, how many balachivas were made from this book? All of them said that there is nothing like this, like likutey tefilos, nothing in the world. In Jerusalem, there was one Jewish man, not elderly and not young. I said to him, There is already in these generations a wondrous light like this. Without this, life is not life, not anything. I gave him a likutey tefilos, and after that he said, "Oh, you rejuvenated my soul. This is so good. I did not know that we have such a treasure like this, likutey tefilos." He came every night to the synagogue with the likutey tefilos. He did not know what to do with me. I gave him such a gift, likutey tefilos, and he called to me every time. He made me happy. He was very happy and said to me, "What did you do? You gave me such good, such light, such a likutey tefilos." He had a store on Herzl Street in Tel Aviv, and he had an income, and I knew where was his house. I came and asked, "This man needs to eat," and he gave me kugel in honor of the Holy Shabbos, and he also provided me food for Kiddush. He loved me so much. I had given him likutey tefilos. Someone came from France. He found likutey tefilos at the Western Wall, and he said, "Wow, this is very good. This is all my vitality." They said to him, "But you don't know what you are. But you don't know, what are you saying? That is a book of Breslev," he said to them, "so let it be Breslev. But it is very good. I want also to pass it on," in brackets, to let people know, and in brackets, what is in the world. I gave him likutey tefilos, and he recited likutey tefilos at the Western Wall with such sweetness. And afterward he said to me, "Oi, oi, oi, I did not know about this. I did not know that there is a likutey tefilos like this in the world. I don't just need it, I must have it." Likutey tefilos came into the world just for me. He went home and told people, "In Yerushalayim there is a hospital that heals all the diseases for free." Afterwards, his rabbi came and said to me, "Wow, I did not know that there is likutey tefilos in the world. I did not know what this was." Is there anyone else? Come, come, come. Perhaps your father as well. There is a room also for him. Come, come. Why is he waiting? The father also wants to come close. The father also wants to come close to the baby. So there is likutey tefilos. Likutey tefilos can receive the whole world. Likutey tefilos will conquer all the world. This will be the greatest happiness in the world. It will be revealed. Likutey tefilos, and every word of likutey tefilos is the vitality of everyone. It gives vitality to all the world, all the wicked. Likutey tefilos will change the whole world. It heals the whole world. There's a piece of paper that is the life of all the world. Just a small piece of paper. It conquers the whole world. This is the hospital of all the world. What madman would not buy a page for all his household so that they will have healing? Likutey tefilos heals and enlivens and strengthens everyone. It renews everyone, a new soul. Likutey tefilos recited by the Western Wall. Everything stands on this. All the Torah. Now, all my friends and all the community has passed away. Everyone, they are no longer, as if they never were. Only I alone remain. I begin to think, where are all the people? Where is everyone? I search for some friend. Nobody. All of them are in the ground. Only I alone remain. Only I alone with the likutey tefilos. Only I alone remain. Only I alone with the likutey tefilos. This book, Kiss for Rabbi Nachman, the writings of Rabbi Nachman, teachings and prayers. This name is very effective. Kiss for Rabbi Nachman, Likutey Moharan, is the full-length form. I took the book of Rabbi Yisroel Kaduna, Likutey Moharan, and combined it, the teachings, together with the prayers, and it made many Ba'al Tshuva. Kiss for Rabbi Nachman and his student Rabbi Nosson. Everyone should look for this book. What it is, it is very awesome. All the world know nothing. All the world knew nothing of. All the world knows nothing of life. They don't know it all. Only Rבינו, with one word he enlivens and sustains and renews the whole world, each and every one. This is the redemption. Each and every word is the redemption for every person. Such a wondrous thing like this was never before in the world. We know nothing. Rבינו had mercy on us. He revealed a drop from the sea of who he is. Who knows Nanach? Without this, there is no life, nothing. Oi, oi, I want to live in Yerushalayim. Perhaps it will be better there. If you have an apartment in Yerushalayim and you have a room for me with a little table, good. I want to travel to Yerushalayim to pray. From here, I will travel to Yerushalayim. I was among the first that fought in the war against the whole world. I fought with mighty ones, with rabbis famous in the world, and I did my part. And thank God there are already the books of Rabbeinu at the western wall. This is a sign of the Mashiach. Yes, to learn by the wall from all the books in this section of Breslev. In truth, yes, to learn by the wall from all the books in this section of Breslev. In truth, not in falsehood, not like the liars. Thank God we merited in these generations to a light like this, a wonder like this. What we have in this generation, these are the days of the Mashiach. The United States is full of diseases, and here is full of healings. So people should come here, and they will have all the healings for all the diseases. They should come to the Holy Land. They should come to the land of Israel. They will have healing. There are bookcases full of books with all the healings for everyone. There will come diseases, such diseases, and immediately they will be fully healed. I can recount the healings and salvations that are there at the wall. Everyone will come to Yerushalayim, to the wall, and they will all go back fully healed. Then all the sick people in the world will come here. All the doctors will come. When they hear that there are many sick people here, they will come and find everyone healthy, so they won't have an income. But they will also rejoice a great deal that the time has come and that all the sick can receive healing from every word. It gives healing to all the seriously ill that cannot be helped. They will just say it and will receive. Rabbeinu said all the Jews need to come to live in the land of Israel. Just come, 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 come. Just come, 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 just come, 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 come. Rabbeinu traveled to the land of Israel in a time of war. It is quite a story what he went through. Thank God he came to Israel in peace and left in peace in a totally miraculous way, beyond ability to comprehend. And when Rabbeinu came from Israel, he traveled by way of a village not far from the rabbi and tzaddik, the Maggid from the city of Trevich. It became known to the Maggid that Rabbeinu had returned from the land of Israel, thank God, and that he was present in the village. But the Maggid was not prepared for him, not dressed for the trip to greet Rabbeinu. But he immediately began to run after Rabbeinu and told them to follow him with the wagon, in brackets with his clothes in it, end of brackets. And he ran with such effort and speed that he arrived before the wagon. The wagon departed immediately after him, and he came to Rabbeinu before the wagon arrived. Such enthusiasm. He was an elderly man, 80 years old, and Rabbeinu appeared like a child. When Rabbeinu came from the land of Israel, he was approximately 28, 26 years of age. And the Maggid ran when Rabbeinu came from the land of Israel. The Maggid from Trevich was a student of the Baal Shem Tov. He was a Torah giant and a very great tzaddik, and he was unique among the true tzaddikim in that he annulled himself to Rabbeinu. He was the only one from all the great tzaddikim who recognized a bit of the greatness of Rabbeinu. He was an old man, a Torah master, and he said to Rabbeinu, "You are the Rebbe. You are my Rebbe." He said this in truth, not just shallow talking, not just trivial words. One time, it is written in Chaim Aran, the Maggid was struggling with a very deep issue, and it was very hard for him. And he went to several major holy tzaddikim, asking them about this, and they gave him various answers, but it did not satisfy him, and he thought that perhaps he should ask Rabbeinu. So he went to Rabbeinu, and Rabbeinu told him the teaching concerning what was troubling him. When the Maggid heard this teaching from Rabbeinu, he saw that this was not mortal intelligence. This was very awesome. He was stupefied, and he thought that a teaching like this was impossible to commit to writing. Afterward, Rabbi Nosson came and wrote this teaching, and the Maggid from Trevich saw the teaching in written form. Then he said to Rabbeinu, "You are an awesome novelty." Thus said the Maggid of Trevich to Rabbeinu. He saw that this was a very awesome wonder. "You are a great wonder, very awesome." Then Rabbeinu said to him, "A novelty like me was never before in the world." After Rabbeinu returned from the land of Israel, it was Shabbos, and he gave over a teaching on the night of Shabbos, and also during the third meal after the afternoon prayer. He gave over this teaching. He gave over this teaching: "When you cross over the water, I am with you." A life-giving teaching. Likutey Moharan, Part 1, Chapter 73. In this teaching, Rabbeinu speaks of the matter of praying for its own sake, to connect one's thought and word. To connect one's thoughts and word. Connect them, in other words. To connect one's thought and word. Every word that one says in prayer, all one's thought should be in brackets, focused on it, not to defile, not to think about some matter, even something insignificant. All the thought should be connected to the words, to what one utters with one's mouth. I heard that the grandfather of Rabbeinu, Rabbi Nachman Hordenker, he traveled to the land of Israel, and along the way to Istanbul, he married a Sephardi woman. Oy, oy, she was extremely righteous. She had the merit to be the wife of Rabbi Nachman Hordenker. Rabbi Nachman Hordenker was a student of the Baal Shem Tov. How Rabbi Nachman Hordenker traveled, doesn't say. How Rabbi Nachman Hordenker went to the land of Israel. There were such miracles and wonders like none that had ever been. And from this came Rabbi Nachman ben Simcha. Footnote: Simcha was the father of Rabbi Nachman, the son of Nachman Hordenker, the son or the grandson. The Simcha was the father of Reb Nachman, the grandson of Nachman Hordenker. Nachmo, right? The grandson. Right, the grandson. Simcha was the father of Rabbi Nachman when he came to Istanbul and married a woman, and from this issued Rabbi Nachman. Nachman Hordenker was the grandfather of Rבינו, and Tzipora was his mother, and she brought Rבינו, Rabbi Nachman, into the world. Rabbi Nachman Hordenker was in the land of Israel, and also Rבינו was in Israel. The Baal Shem Tov wanted to be in Israel, but did not reach it. I was in the land of Israel. Rבינו merited to come to Israel and say, the Baal Shem Tov did not merit. I merited to the land of Israel. Rבינו said, all of Israel need to come to live in the land of Israel. Now we see that the French and all the world are coming to the land of Israel. When Rבינו was in Israel, he was in Tiberia and had been at the holy grave of his grandfather, Rabbi Nachman Hordenker. There is one grave laid out in the name of Rabbi Yaakov Shimshon from Shtipitovsky. There's one grave laid out in the name of Rabbi Yaakov Shimshon from Shtipitovsky? Shpitivki, I think. Shpitivki, I think. In the name of Rabbi Yaakov Shimshon from Shtipitovsky, and the grandfather of Rabbi Nachman. The grave is in Tiberia. He passed away in Tiberia. When Rבינו was in the land of Israel, it was during the war of Napoleon. Napoleon wanted to kill all the Jews, and Rבינו spoke with Napoleon, several words. Nachman miyuman, Nachman miyuman. Sorry. Nachman was the son of Simcha, whose father was Nachman Hordenker. Simcha's father was Nachman Hordenker. Nachman miyuman.